Virgo, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Solari Tarot. It's Greg here. I'm here to do your bonus reading for the month. I'm doing bonus readings for all the signs that are watching the videos. So like the 3 highest viewed videos, I'm doing bonuses for. You're one of them. Thank you. This will be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Obviously, I would love for you to watch your monthly reading. I will put the link of that in the description box below. So you can click that and go to your September reading. We cover all the astrology there and themes of this month. There was a lot to cover. So if you haven't watched that, go check it out. This is a bonus reading. We're just moving into another pocket of energy that we need to talk about or that you guys need to hear. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. As I was shuffling the cards, 2 cards came out, and I got this energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups here. And I just immediately got this energy of how we're feeling about something and what we're doing about something. So the angle of what we feel about it, and then the angle of what we're actually doing about it. We have 2 knights here. One is native to your energy and one is not. So I could be talking to Virgos who have water in their chart, of course, but looks like we're starting the reading today referencing what we are feeling with what we are doing about it. Let's get into Virgo. Bonus reading. What are we talking about today in this reading? Let's go ahead and get right in. In breaking news for you, Virgo, I'm trying to grow a mustache, as you can see. So I would appreciate no shitty comments about it. This is my expressive moment. Let me have this moment. I've never grown facial hair. I just want to see, is it a vibe? Is it not a vibe? I don't know. Virgo, what's our message? I'm just giving you the lowdown about the mustache. Now, we have the Queen of Cups coming out here. So some of our relationships this month, we talked about that in your monthly reading, but we also talked about boundaries where there's an even give and take. There's a meet in the middle that is 2 people functioning together in a healthy way in our partnerships, for those of us that are partnered. And then for those of us that are not, in our business relationships, how we let people in and if they're giving us as much as we're giving them, or the opposite way around. If somebody's giving so much and we're not, we're coming to a place of balance with this through retrograde. And with the Queen of Cups here, it looks like the way that we feel right now is of really big importance. We have a watery energy coming out for you here. Y'all know I love that coffee. I think that we have the Fool card. Interesting, Libra, new moon, 25th of September. We start to see a lot of that heavy retrograde energy, whatever is challenging to you at this time, starting to let up around that moon. And for a few signs, you included, we have this really big new beginning that's available to a lot of us. So it would be accurate to say that the new moon on the 25th is a big manifesting moon. It's a big manifesting moon. We can be bringing some really new conditions, new environments within our relationships, within our lives around us at this time. And I love the Fool card. It came out for Aries just now as well. What else for Virgo? I love it. It's in the heart of your reading. It's showing that you're starting to come into balance with how you're feeling about something and then how you're acting about it. And there could be just some new moments that shift into your experience around this new moon that are making it quite easier to express your emotions or express what you're feeling. Some of you might want an apology. Some of you might want to give an apology. We have the 7 of Wands, but maybe you don't want to give one. But really, our 7 of Wands here is showing our resistance to the fight ahead. This retrograde is coming in this restructuring way for every sign, essentially, and it is bringing us into some interesting astrology in October as well. Obviously with Mars in Gemini, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more in October. But, this is you hanging in the game here and staying, I would be careful about being too defensive this month. Try to maintain your advantageous position, but try not to dismantle somebody else's here in the process this month. But mostly, we're talking about you hanging in there for kind of the next movement of your life. This will go more smoothly for you because I think emotionally you're starting to feel cleaner, more purified. That could be happening from what you're learning from the retrograde. I think that Mercury for you is showing you where your emotions are holding you back and how they obviously very much so affect the actions that you have in the world. Now, the Knight of Pentacles isn't always about that for me, because as we can see on the card here, the lands behind him with this pentacle are still barren. So he needs to get to work. And he needs to get some seeds planted into the ground because it might take longer for him than normal, but this is about him planting the real seed in the ground. And as depicted behind him, there's nothing really happening yet, right? I think this is because for you, Virgo, you are coming to a place where you're realizing that your emotions sometimes do affect how you shift yourself. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys, I've been coughing. I think I'm having like seasonal allergies down here in Charlotte. My body is not adjusted to Charlotte yet. The Fool card shows us a brand new clean slate that unfolds for us in October as Samhain and the sacred harvest time of the year come in. We really could be beginning a lot of stuff that could show a lot of fruition before the end of the year. And, you might be starting the year a couple steps ahead. But for some of us, we're really getting that New Year's kind of American buzz that we get, that same kind of energy of like, it's a new year, it's a new me, I'm gonna do some new things. That's really big coming out for you. I think you're gonna wanna feel differently about some of the things in your life. I think you're going to be letting your emotional response be less triggering as we move out of this retrograde. And I think it could come to a head at this time, right? Seven of Wands, though, shows that you're at an advantageous position at this time, so don't knock yourself off of it, right? Don't get into any unnecessary drama, any unnecessary battles that don't really need to be fought. Choose your battles here. We have the Knight of Swords, and there could be some need to bravely forge ahead on your horse with your sword pulled, ready to cut a bitch down. There's big action moving forward, and whatever this Fool card energy is for you, it's showing that like you're hitting the ground running. And you're feeling better about what you're doing. Now, in your monthly reading, we pulled that Ace of Pentacles, right? That around the end of the month that showed new opportunities coming in for some of you. And this Libra new moon is doing that for a few signs. You are one of them. So when that happens, pay attention to how you feel about it and what you're doing about how you feel about it. Boom. Put them together. Take action. Because there will be a need to take action here. This is towards the end of September. Now, Mercury will move station direct in October on the 2nd. So we have like 6 planets in retrograde right now, I think. So we have a lot going on. There is a lot going on, Virgo. But for you, there is a light at the end of a tunnel, and it's at the end of the month. Things are going to start lightening up. We're going to start going back up that slope towards some new peaks. It's just natural for us to be in these valleys right now, and we will be moving up into the peaks soon. That's advice for all signs, right? Virgo. But also, look at this, because the timing is just right. We have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Tower card, and we have the Five of Pentacles, which also came out for you in your September reading, but it's reversed. Damn. The universe has forces at play right now, Virgo. that you cannot control. And the wheel is shifting and change is afoot. When we see something like this, what we can be sure of is that there's a lot of change coming, a lot of newness. And so our previous way of being or our previous way of doing things during this retrograde is coming to an end. The Tower is kind of knocking us out of it, right? Whatever structure you have built that has guarded you, once again, I think I mentioned this in your September reading, it's breaking down. There is this new way of doing things that you're going to be really happy about. We see a time of hardship coming to an end for you. So if some of you have been having, financial hardships, which this card can reference, it looks like we could really be moving out of them. So in terms of how the wheel is shifting, the good news is it's shifting you into a time where there are a lot of possibilities available for you that could get you out of a lot of the funks that you've been in. But how do you feel about it? And what are you doing about it, right? This is the message. I also want to mention that for some of you, this new way of being, which Mercury retrograde is doing for everybody, folks, it's a big restructuring this time. But what Mercury retrograde is doing for you is really getting you to this place where whatever new is beginning, there's this leveled up person that is dealing with it. So you may change the way you do things. You may change your mechanism. You may change the way you're moving forward because now you understand how you feel about it, what you really feel about it. What you really feel about all these things that are happening in your life, with your relationships, what you're really feeling about where you're being guided next and what direction you're headed in next. You're starting to not have this emotional reaction that sets you back, but you're starting to say, oh, okay, now I know how I feel about it. That's good. Now I'm going to be able to move forward because what I'm doing about it is different. Alchemy. Boom. It looks good for you, Virgo. I like this because sometimes I think when we're in this mode of life where we're trying to keep things at least where they are and not downgrade our lives, we check out of how we feel about it. But we never stop really feeling something about it. We might just check out of how we feel. Retrograde is putting you in touch with how you're feeling about it. All of us are having to look at things that come up that are challenging in some way that we can conquer and move on from. Mustache and all. We are just moving into a different time. Also with the Wheel of Fortune, I want to mention the world as a whole, the collective as a whole. There is change afoot in our world. We can smell it. Our longest reigning monarch has passed, and there are new eras in the world, in our future. For all of us at this time, we're trying to redefine and restructure what we feel so that we know how to move forward, how to act, what seeds are going into that barren land, what's coming out of it. Also for some of you, with this diagonal here, moving from the bottom of the Five of Pentacles reversed up to the Fool, up to the Knight of Cups, it could be that we just are experiencing relationships coming back together, friendships coming back together. Any drama that's unfolding around the Mercury retrograde, apologies are given, fresh, clean slates are offered. There's forgiveness. There is really just knowing that you're not alone and knowing that the way that you're going to go about doing things to care for the ones you love may be different here in the future as well. We have this diagonal, Tower up to the Fool, up to the Queen of Cups. The Tower showing you that knocking you out of the structure you have built forcefully to show you that you have to start over, to show you how you feel about it. Now, I want to clarify a few of these cards, especially the majors. So let's clarify. I'm going to use the Light Visions Tarot here. And I love this deck. I think it's so beautiful. It's illustrated by James Eads, and it has some really gorgeous art in it. And on the inside of the box, it's just super cool. It has a little note here about tarot. There's an extra major arcana card in this deck called the Orchard. So let's see what comes out. Tell me about the Fool card. Let's start with the Fool. For Virgo, show us the Fool card, this new, fresh beginning. What's up with that? Here we go. Okay, babe. Shoot. So we have the Six of Swords. And I think that's all I'm gonna take for that here. I think that's what wanted to come out, Six of Swords. So once again, we are traveling to a new, this is a rite of passage. This retrograde is a rite of passage for a lot of us, but there is a rite of passage here for you. Things are, after this retrograde, never gonna really be the same because you've learned something now. And ultimately, it's leading you to this transitionary period where you're really on a journey. You're really starting over in some way. Starting over really is the message here for you. It's like you're getting in tune with the universe and you're starting to realize what it is that you're putting into the ground, what it is that you really want to create, what it is that you really want to defend. And the things that are breaking down and lifting away from your life, quite frankly, I think that it could feel like lightning striking your house for a minute. But I think as we hit that new moon in Libra, on the 25th, you're starting to see that it really was this idea of a meteorite coming down, right? And busting into the ground and destroying something beautiful, but it left a powerful little meteorite, some sort of sci-fi thing. It left a power with it in the wake of the devastation that it had to cause in bringing it into your world so that you could harness this power. And once you get this little inner alchemy of what give and take means and what your boundaries are, the healthy ones, the unhealthy ones, how you're feeling about things and you're forgiving and you're realizing that you can drop boundaries in some places, but you need to build them here. And you're just looking at your boundary system that you've built for yourself and you're making sure that it's based around the respect for you and not the fear of what the tower wants you to hide in the cold, clammy tower. Right? Because you might get knocked out on the street here. Look at this, babe. This could be like a hard time that comes really quickly, but leaves really quickly, just as quickly as it came. Because new opportunities are coming into your life. So don't have fear for what's coming. We don't need that kind of energy. That's not what this reading is about. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Mercury retrograde, baby, is just hard for all of us. Trust me. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords, again, showing quick movement after this retrograde hits direct, guys. Really, really. I'm sure that in your October reading, we're going to be talking about some amped up energy. Change is afoot. You are being asked to start this new journey. I love when this happens to people in life. This has happened to you before, Virgo. You've started a new journey before. Many, many, many times. You've went from the Fool to the World. Many, many, many times. Right? You've had Tower card moments in your life. Many, many, many times. This is not your first rodeo. But this is the first rodeo where you are saying, oh, I really just need to do this very simple thing. And then my reality is going to be totally different. Tell me about the Tower card, please. Tower card for Virgo. Tower card for Virgo. Okay. Okay. So with the Tower, we have the High Priestess, we have Justice, and we have the Two of Swords reversed. Getting you in touch and back to square one with where you stand. With somebody, maybe. But look at this Two of Swords reversed. The stall is over. The stalemate is over. Now we're hitting the ground running. Now things are moving ahead. I also want to mention to you to pay close attention tomorrow, because I think this video is going up the 9th, and in the early morning of the 10th, we have our full moon in Pisces. Some of those more challenging aspects of this month, Virgo, could happen around this moon. They're going to get into their most heated moment when Mercury retrograde opposes Jupiter on the 18th. So it's going to progress over this period of time. But this is leveling the playing field. This is justice. This is karma gets played out for what's happened. We're starting back fresh, and we have a new opportunity to handle things in a new way. This is your bonus message as we move into September. We have the Star card on the bottom. I really just see this big realigning taking place, right? I think you're gonna love the way September ends, but I think during the month, you're gonna be feeling like that Green Day song, Wake Me Up When September Ends, bitch. I think that's gonna be the name of your video, Wake Me Up When September Ends. Green Day, so spiritual. But still, you know, I think that there is this idea that you're getting in line with the universe. You're letting it all happen. Tower card moments could happen for you here this month, obviously. I promise you on the other end of them, what is coming is a fresh, clean place. You might have to do things a little differently, Virgo. You might have to, you know, you're coming to terms with something. But when September ends, as we move towards the end, new moon in Libra, 25th, you're gonna like what you see at this time. If you followed this, if when you were busted out of the tower, you got up off on your feet, like the Knight of Swords, right? And got moving again, like the Fool, with just enough on your back that you could salvage from the disaster. And looking at how you feel about it and what that means and what is your new policy? What is your new structure? So that way, when the Fool card starts over, right, and the Wheel of Fortune gets you up on the high place of the wheel, you know what to do. That is your message. The dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. No matter what happens, no matter how hard things get, no matter how frustrated you feel this month, no matter how much looking at all of that stuff that you're seeing at retrograde overwhelms you, change is just in the air. And you'll be awake when September ends, I promise you. Just go through it, okay? Folks, next week, I'm having to travel back to West Virginia. I just figured out yesterday, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to visit a loved one's funeral. I had a passing yesterday. So I'm packing my bags and I'm headed back to the Appalachian Mountains. The universe has sent me there to be a healer with the ones I love. However, next week I will be doing live readings. This will be an opportunity where I'll be taking some free, one card pulls. Make sure to visit. I don't know what day it'll be. Just keep your eyes open. Probably early in the week, next week, we'll be doing live videos. They'll be for the elements, each video for the elements, but I will break down each sign in each video. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're still here watching. Comment, let me know how you feel. It's so good to be back. Check out your monthly, and I've got some exciting stuff I'm filming for you that will be coming out later on in the month, and then some fun stuff in October as well. So I can't wait for you to see it. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.